Today I'm going to be sharing some videos that I find very interesting on my X account. Yes, today we got our Batman leather hat. I got the Superman one in on the way, so to speak. Make sure I got sound here. There we go. Okay, perfect, perfect. Happy Sunday. If you come in here, don't forget to give the video a like. I will be the first one to like the video. Hopefully, I am not the last one. So if you're coming in here, welcome. Um let's hang out, see what we can share today. I'm sure everybody is busy doing their own thing, spending time with family and all that stuff. So I will understand if we get a low audience here today. Robert, big bro, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day today. I've been uh, I've been sitting here in my car for like an hour or so and just finished my coffee. Forgot to grab a water from the back, but finished my coffee and I was watching some funny videos. It was hello funny. Uh-oh. Welcome back to Washington. I mean, where are you moving? Hopefully not Washington. I get you, man. I get you. Where would you be moving to? Or why? Uh, Not enough coffee today. Or why are you moving, brother? Oh, I thought you'd be moving to to a different state. So just next door. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, man. Maybe I can come over there and give you a hand moving. Oh man, Wedo's in the house. Wedo is also moving. Wedo, where are you moving to? Moving into a house? California has made it affordable for you now to move into a house. That's great news. Great news. Uh-oh, watch out. Let's go. Let's join together. Just don't give me a reputation. You know how Democrats are. They blame everybody that party with Epstein. It's all of a sudden a rapist and a child trafficker and all this other stuff. So I hope you don't come back and give me a bad reputation. Let's go, man. Let me know. The closer you move to Seattle, the more chances that I will hang out with you and maybe grab a bite to eat or something or a coffee. That would be good news, man. That would be fantastic news. Let's see, got it. Cool Cat Renee, happy Sunday, man. I got to remove the what you call it, the the restrictions on my chat because even Cool Cat Renee is getting blocked. You know what I think it is? Let me give myself some internet access here for my laptop. Get my personal hotspot on, and let's see if I can change those settings. I think one of the settings I think it has to do with the emojis. Like you can't spam the emojis or something like that. All right, let me see. I got yeah. We got internet. Let me see here. Gotta open up the Streamlabs. See if it's fast enough because I am using my phone here to monitor. Oh man, desktop updater. Oh man. Let's see if this upgrades fast enough, because being on a laptop is crazy. Mutt Cup says, thank you, Iran. Much love. Well, I stand with the Iranian people, not with the terrorist regime. Brian Waza. I can barely do it. My throat is itchy today. Fight. Dell from Australia. Welcome, Dell. Yeah, I'm going to have to. That's just the way it's going to have to be, my friends. You won't be able to spam emojis. Won't be able to spam emojis. WW. Welcome, World War 23,448. Liz Morgner, how are you? Thank you for saying hello. Appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that like. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I guess I didn't even have to say it. Didn't even have to say it. Happy Sunday, everybody. What do you think? What do you think about the hat? I haven't heard anything about the hat. For some reason, what comes to mind, it's YMCA, and I feel a little gayish with a leather hat. Just a little gayish, just a little bit. Pamela Hernandez, how are you? Thank you. God bless you, brother. I appreciate you. Hey, thank you guys so much for your prayers, man. I do. I feel a lot better. Somebody over here driving suspiciously around here. Hopefully they know that I do have my Second Amendment right protection all the time. All right. I'm waiting for the Streamlabs to update, and maybe I can change the settings so that you guys can spam those emojis. What is today's? Sunday. You bought the wrong hat. No, the Superman hat is coming. Today's the 20th. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know what's funny is that I have my laptop and it has the date and time, and for some reason I always look at my smartwatch. I don't know. It's weird. All right, I want to share some stuff from my X account. I'm just gonna read it. But first, let me play this video. I'm sure you guys have seen this video. Video right here from Ted Lieu. And I just want you guys to hear it. And let me tell you what I think about it.
So why are Republicans so interested in Bill and Hillary Clinton? It's because they're trying to distract from the fact that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files thousands and thousands of times. In those files, there's highly disturbing allegations of Donald Trump raping children, of Donald Trump threatening to kill children. So I encourage the press to go look at these allegations. And I'm highly disturbed that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just got the law wrong. Yesterday, he said, essentially, that it is not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, that's actually not correct. If Jeffrey Epstein was human trafficking minors for these sex parties, and you show up and patronize the establishment at that party, yes, you're guilty, because patronizing is part of the law, of the federal sex trafficking law. So Deputy General Todd Blanche just got that wrong, which maybe explains why they aren't investigating all these folks, including Donald Trump. He needs to read the law and investigate these people. He also needs to resign, not only for not knowing the law, but a massive, not only screw up, but the biggest privacy violation in history. They release a lot of pictures of minors unredacted, just violated the privacy of these girls. It is uncalled for what they did. The one thing that they could not do under this law was to invade the privacy of these women now who were girls at the time who were victims of sex trafficking. Also, he met with Ghislaine Maxwell, moved her to minimum security prison, and then got a puppy for her. So for all those reasons, he's just got to leave the Department of Justice. Who fired you?
So, let's talk about it. So number one, you know, they slither like a snake. If President Trump, he says he should retire, he should resign for not knowing the law. First of all, slander is also against all these allegations that he's doing. So he is raising false testimony against President Trump. Whether he is mentioned 1,000,000 times in the files, whether there is 1,000,000 allegations in the files, if there is no proof, it doesn't matter what they say. You know why I don't give him, you know why I don't give him this credit? Cutting Edge, how are you, brother? Good afternoon, my man. Thank you for the super, bro. The fake congressman from Texas, he is a liar. Last time I see one of his videos, he talked about rise up against only the white man, communist. That is what they play. Jason Martin, how are you, brother? Good to see you on here. Release every file and the libtards will still not be happy. Yeah, that's true. All right, so here, watch this. So you have to dissect the information before you make a decision. And the first thing that I would say, hey, what's going on, Real? Welcome to the chat, everybody. David, I see you, baby. I see you. Welcome all. Here, let me get my thoughts out. First of all, you have to look at it this way, okay? He says that President Trump is mentioned in the files thousands of times. Sure, we believe that. That doesn't mean that he is guilty of anything. If people are talking about it, they're talking about it. But that doesn't mean that he's guilty of anything. There is allegations. Now watch this. There is allegations that he did this to children and he threatened to kill children and all this other stuff. But let's take a look at who is saying this. Who are saying these things about the Epstein files? Well, let's talk about it. I believe the Epstein files should be, completely unredacted. Everything's got to go. I believe the Epstein files should be released completely. Absolutely, 100%. Unredacted. If the people who are victims don't want to be, known to the public, then they have no testimony against President Trump. Period. Now, who is telling you these things? The same people. Hey, SoCal, good afternoon, man. The same people that called you and me a Nazi. The same people that call us racist. The same people that keep lying to us when we know that we're not. So they have thrown away their credibility. So for them to come now and say, oh, allegations, President Trump is guilty, bro, number one, that is not the law. According to his own words, he said President Trump should resign for not knowing the law. What? And then maybe he's talking about somebody else in Congress or the Senate. But the point is, he also doesn't know the law, apparently. Allegations are not convictions, they are not truth nor facts. That is no proof at all. Cutting edge. I see you. Yeah, you and I are on the same thing. Yep, an allegation is not proof of a crime. Without evidence, there is no trial. Absolutely. And so the fact that they are making these comments, they have no credibility. No credibility whatsoever. What is the other problem that we have? The other problem that we have this weekend, no kings protest. Okay, sure, no kings. And what do we see on this protest? LGBTQ with the trans flags. They're out there pro-Iran, the regime. They're out there with Palestinian flags. They're out there telling death to America. This is the No Kings rally. And then the lady that's running for governor in Minnesota, she says that the only king is the law, which I find interesting because the legislative branch, they are the ones that make the laws. Of course, the president has to approve it, but they're the ones that make the law. And so what are they saying? That they are the king of us? Because last time I checked, this was we the people. It's a constitutional republic, and the Constitution belongs to American citizens. Am I incorrect? So, who invented this No Kings protest? They did. They did. The lawmakers, they are the ones that invented the No Kings protest. Now, here is even the worst part that people don't understand. We know about communism. They tried to destroy our country decades ago. And the American people fought against it. And thus, making this country a great country. But what do we see now? We see that those same communists, Marxist, socialists, are now calling themselves socialist Democrats out in the open as if they are so proud to say it. What is a Marxist? A Marxist is a liar. It is a godless philosophy. It is a godless ideology. Marxism doesn't believe in God. Communism believes on deceiving the people and taking away their assets. Socialism is probably the most vulnerable of them all and can work unless you have tyrants running the social programs. And that is exactly what we have. We have way too many Democrats who have been chosen to be in Congress, in the Senate, as a governor, as mayors of the cities. And these people are only going to be as good as long as the money lasts. But they are not good at making money. Not making jobs. They're good at stealing money from the people. Like AOC right now. AOC doesn't want to be investigated. Say, what? I wonder why. Socialist Democrats in Washington State, they don't want us to investigate fraud. They don't want us to do audits. But if it's the will of the people, I can tell you, if you're Washingtonian and you vote for me, we're going to make sure that all these NGOs get audited. There's got to be a way to audit all these NGOs. And if the politicians, the corrupted politicians, want to defend them and protect them, we're going to make sure that they also get audited. As a matter of fact, that's not even going to be an option. We are going to make sure that they get audited. And all of these people that have their hands dirty with the No Kings protest, yeah, I heard last that thank you, Ivan. You know what? We'll die for America. I don't give a shit what you ducks. Come and ducks this bitch, because we are not fools. Don't try to mess with the Americans. What I really find very interesting is that there is billions of dollars behind this movement. This communists are they have billions of dollars behind these protests. We're not stupid. There's a lot of investigative reporters out there, a lot of journalists putting their lives literally on the line. And we don't care. I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that. Maybe there is a rule. Can somebody tell me? Can a government official, anybody running for Congress, Senate, or even governor or president, can they carry a gun with them? Somebody put that on the chat. Somebody put that on the chat. I believe that there is Americans protesting. Streamlabs. Let me see if I can do something about Streamlabs. Please refrain. Okay, remove as a standard moderator. Okay, there we go. We'll get rid of Streamlabs because it's also affecting my members and the people that I don't want blocked. You got a gun. Wow, buddy. And the machete, my brother, greetings from Miami, Florida. You know what? I don't have machetes, but I have a bunch of knives. But I'd rather use a gun. Now, the only reason why it's not a 10 millimeter, it's 9. It's a 9 millimeter. And yes, it is a compact one. You guys seen it before. But anyway, you know, the thing about it is that let me turn this up, man. This is hot. The thing about it is, let me see. West Coast here. I love your hat. Thank you, Ray. Mr. Stream, know your role. 44 mag. Oh man, this one is only 12 rounds. Just a small mag. Just 12 shots. But I normally don't carry too much ammo with me. I normally just, let me get one of these boxes out if I can. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, normally I just carry something small. Like this. This is only 119 grams, I guess. Only 5 of these boxes. 50 bullets each. Not too much. It's just, you know, protection, but mainly recreational. Oh, Streamlabs is still on there, bro. He says, please refrain from using foul language. I like this. So here's the thing. So if we are allowed, yeah, right? Yeah, don't show it. If I am allowed to carry as I run, I think I'm always going to be packed. I'm always going to be packing. Dennis Herrera, I need to be added as a moderator in order to remove messages. Perform this action. You can do this by clicking on. Yeah, Streamlabs, you're doing a horrible job. You're doing a horrible job. How are you, Marvin? I will turn on Streamlabs, guys. Don't make me turn on Streamlabs. Watch your language. So anyway, I would like to be strapped at all times. Alberto says, Paisano, relax, my brother, here so you can get in a coffee. I appreciate that. You know what? I had a plan today. I went to this store where they sell donuts, which I already ate. I ate 2 donuts. And I wanted some coffee, you know, from there. Their machine was broken. So they sold me this fake ass coffee from Starbucks. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do anything at all. So thank you for buying me coffee, Roberto. Appreciate you. It was Roberto, right? No, Alberto. Alberto Guevara. Gracias, brother. Gracias. So anyway, so I would, if I run a campaign, guys, I'm sure there's going to be, we're going to have bodyguards and we're going to hire people. I think maybe the middle. Who knows? Maybe the next week or so. I will probably make a website, an official website. I got to go take a bunch of selfies. As a photographer, I know how to take photos, but I got to do some selfies myself and all that stuff. And I'm going to make an official website to where people can actually start donating. And yeah, we're going to make sure that we hire some people to bodyguard and things like that. I'm going to start reaching out. Once I get official on the ballot, I'm going to start reaching out to people that know how to program themselves, to do campaigning and all that stuff. Now, I don't know. I don't know. Like I never campaigned for government, so I don't really. I become very ignorant when it comes to campaigning for this. But you know what? If it's the right of an American citizen to be able to run for office, why not? Whether I fail or not, it doesn't matter. You know what? The great thing is that I'm not a commie libtard. I believe that you should always try and do your best. Libtards believe never try, never fail. That is their motto. And that's just not the way that I am. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and invest that money, and yeah, we'll go ahead and continue to do that. Audrey says, I love seeing far right groups, the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers representing all of us conservatives at the No Kings protest. They confronted many people who have never never, I don't know, you're missing a word there, I think. Never voted for a felon or something. I don't know. Never been a felon. SoCal says, Dennis, save your money. Right. Of course you would say that. I want to test streamline and misspell a bad word. I don't know if it worked. Let's see this message. Helpful review from Alex. Stop talking grandmothers, he says. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that means. Gardiner says the libtard says they hate Russia because of communism, but they want communism here. That is the craziest thing, and that is very true, my friend. That is very true. That is crazy. Hey, you should start reading the tarot cards. Here, let me read a couple here. Yeah. Oh, man, that doesn't look good, but it looks like here it says message will be successful. It says to run for governor, so we're gonna do it. Navy, good question, but no. We're from San Pedro Sula, not Olancho. You know what? I did want to visit Olancho, which I heard some bad things about it when it comes to violence and stuff like that. But I just didn't get a chance. Otherwise, I would have visited. I don't know. Somebody Korean, I guess, retracted a comment in Korean. I don't know what language that is, brother. Larson says, can we start a new protest to protest no kings? If so, let's call it no brains. Yes. You know what's crazy is, yes, Trumpstein, we know. We have a freedom of religion in this country. It doesn't mean that you have to be Christian or Zionist, or you have a freedom of religion. Listen, the only religion that we're against is the fake religion of Islam. Okay? This is a very evil political movement that we just cannot allow it to be part of our country. They are so radical. They want to override our laws, and they want to tell us how to live. I'm going to tell you something. If you don't like Trump, I get it. That's fine. It is your right. It is your choice. You can always hate Trump. That's fine. But I'm going to tell you something. We are the only ones that actually are fighting for American citizens. And that has to count for something. If you don't pick our side, whether you're Democrat, Republican, I don't care. If you don't pick our side, I want you to know you are dooming this country to communism, Marxism, and socialism. Those three things have been proven to be very bad for any nation. Some people love it. They like being oppressed. There is men that like to get beat up. There's women that like to get beat up. But the rest of us with common sense, we don't want that. And that's what separates us from other countries. And let's be honest, like, we're not racist in this country. People that say that, that we are racist, a lot of ignorance it's going through there, because it's so stupid to say that we are racist in this country. We had a black man in office. We had a black president. We're about to have a Hispanic president. We have all kinds of people in Congress. We got a lot of blacks, Hispanics, Asians, even Muslims that shouldn't be allowed in government. Not one Muslim should be allowed in any position of government in the United States of America, ever. Period. You can call us racist, you can call us hateful. We don't give a shit. No Muslim should have any political position in our government. Period. You can be a Buddhist. Go ahead, be in politics. But it's a very dangerous thing to allow communists, Marxists, these radical movements that we have known in history to be destructive. I believe there was a thing before that you couldn't be communist to be in government. I believe if you were a communist, they were not allowed. Uh-oh, does Zito get in trouble? Oh, because of the extra emojis. Well, they won't. I don't think Streamlabs is going to block you anyway. I just think it's very important that we get the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Look at AI going hard to work. Thank you, Streamlabs. I appreciate you, bud. I appreciate you. Yeah. Robert, keep America great again. Oh, man. Trudeau is Fidel's son. He attended his funeral and cried like a little biatch. I think we can show that comment. Yeah, we can show that comment. Docito, you can spam the emojis. Streamlabs is working hard over here, doing their job, along with strict chat from YouTube. Anyways, all these guys on the left just create a whole big distraction because what I'm saying is true. So remember, the Democrats that keep talking about the Epstein files, there is no proof and no fact that President Trump is what they say that he is. He's mentioned the Epstein files thousands of times, and that doesn't matter. They believe that because he was best friends with Epstein, even though he didn't know what he was doing behind doors, that Trump is guilty. With that being said, so is Hillary, so is Bill Clinton, and so is every single one of those Democrats right now that knew about Epstein. Because all it takes is for somebody to know him, and they're guilty, according to the Democrat lunatics that we have in office, right? Plus, they call us names like Nazis, racist, and all these things, fascists, and bigots, and all these other things, which are not true. And they're trying to convince the people that he is all of those nasty things that they say he is. but they can't be farther away from the truth. Tax the rich and jobs go away. Absolutely. So here's something that I found very interesting, and I'm going to share it with you. Senator Murray, even though I don't like her, was talking about this. It says if you make under $184,000 a year, you pay a 12.4% Social Security tax rate. Everything after that cap is exempt from tax. What do you think about that? What do you think that means? Does it really mean that there's no taxes on anybody making more than that? That's what I think it means. And so she says, so if you make $1 million per year, you pay about 2.2%. And that is 0.002% for billionaires. Well, I mean, let's do the math. 12, 4, rounded to 200. What's that, about 20, maybe $20,000 at 12.4%, 184,000. And then about the same, 20, maybe 20, yeah, about 20 or $22,000. What's that, 2 point? Yeah, that's $20,000, $22,000 tax on the rest of the money past 184, which to me, if you add it up, it just says that they will pay 14.6% in tax. But I don't like those numbers. Let me look up some information here. Let's chill. Okay, here we go. Tax bracket by income in Washington State, of course. Let's take a look at the bracket. We'll take a look at the brackets. Okay, so the federal tax bracket, it says Washington residents follow the standard federal income tax bracket, which is between 10% to 37%, meaning that on income, federal taxes, these rich people will have to pay up to 37% in taxes. Now, what she's talking about is Social Security tax, as I read that correctly. I believe you should have no taxes on Social Security. Now, I feel, if we take out the average, right, maybe $200,000 a year, no taxes on Social Security. That's going to be a lot of money for middle class, and it's going to be some good money for the lower class as well. But anybody above that threshold of money should still pay the income tax for the Social Security. I think that's fair, and if anything, maybe they can pay a 4%. I don't know what would be the monthly, or yearly payments for retirement. I mean, we can try to do this here. Let's see. Seniors that retire with $1 million get what in Social Security? Let's see what it says. Okay, let's see. So, seniors retiring with $1 million in save. Oh, well, this is just the savings. It's not That's not what I want. Um, yeah, I don't know how I will go about. I don't have time to go and look through all this stuff, but I think that when it comes to taxes, I'm okay with people paying taxes. I mean, we got to pay taxes. That's just the way it runs today. Let me see. Ron says, Dennis, no tax on Social Security for those that are receiving Social Security benefits. Um, I I don't think. I don't know. I think that a lot of people, if they're retiring, you have to understand this. Social Security for retirement, it's money that somebody had worked for, and as you retire earlier and earlier, at some point you don't qualify to get this benefit. So it's almost like it's not really a mandatory, you know, payment. It can go away. And I will say this: the only reason why it's even in danger of going away is because of mismanagement of funds from the Democrats. And that's just the way it is. Listen, the Democrats are effing up this country, period. It is what it is. And those rhinos that are fake Republicans, we know they're Democrats. There's no question. They flipped already. But they still call themselves Republicans. I'm not sure why you're laughing, SoCal, on the no tax on tips or overtime. That was true. I know because I do my own taxes. Yeah, I don't know how that would work for the disability. When you get disability, I don't know. You can get disability as a child, and that's not money that has been collecting taxes. Like for me, for example, I collected taxes. My payments should be around $2,900 a month. If I retire sooner, it's like 2,400 a month. That's not that much, right? But I worked all of my life since I was 15 years old, right? I've been working here in this country. And I feel like I earned my Social Security because I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to live as many years as I worked, right? Plus, if I wanted more money, then of course my 401k, my savings, etc. I'm okay with rich people paying taxes. But right now, guys, the rich people, they're paying 70% of the taxes in this country. We cannot just keep saying tax the rich. That's a stupid comment. That is a stupid statement. To say tax the rich, that's not good. It is not good. You have people that become criminals because they have too much free time on their hands that they don't go to work. We have propagandas from the Democrats, knowing that we have the lowest education rating in the world, and their brains doesn't tell them, hey, we should focus on the kids, we should focus on the students, and we should not allow them to go out in the middle of school class to go become activists. There is no reason for them to go protest. They're not 18. They can't vote. Until you're 18, you shouldn't be allowed to protest. You do not have a voice. Nope, it is what it is. Well, let's just change the law. Change the law, and I'm good. But what I can tell you is we cannot allow mentally ill people to dictate the future of our children. The stupidest thing that people have done, and there was a time where if the children misbehaved and they don't listen to their mom, there was a time when the father says something, discipline. They listened right away. You know what happens now thanks to the Democrat stupidity? Now the children are out there smacking the shit out of their fathers. And the fathers just laugh. Oh, it's so cute. No, they lost their manliness. Children love and respect themselves because they see the loving side and the discipline side from both parents. We need both. You can't just love, love, love and no discipline. That is just as bad as disciplining without love. You gotta have both. If you do only one and not the other, your children will be the next downfall of this country. Thank you, Cutting Edge. If you tax the rich, it's less money for the company. Less money for the company is less money for the workers. Simple. Stop the nonsense of tax the rich because it doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't make sense to them. They don't understand that it takes one case can bankrupt a business. One case in court. You think, oh, well, they got $100 million and then they got sued for $70 million. Now they got to sell the company. Boom, lay off everybody. I just mentioned this on my lives. Maybe you're new. I know like 50% of the people that come into my channel, they're new. But let me tell you what happens when you tax the rich. Here in Washington State alone, we have lost between 2025 and just the beginning of the 2026, 100,000 jobs because of Democrats taxing the rich. It's a big problem. And you know what's funny? It's No King's protest, and they were, oh, Governor Hochul, tax the rich. Well, now she's over there saying rich people come back to New York. No, don't go back to New York. Go look at the streets of New York. Sometimes they close the whole street so that Muslims can show their superiority above everybody else that is in New York. How about that? Talking about some supremacy. They're spitting on your face. They're laughing at you. They're committing violence against you, and you allow them to be on your street. So guess what? The party that allows criminals and all this other stuff is the same people that have the nerves to say that we protect a pedophile with no proof, no evidence. Come on, man. You can't be that stupid. If you are new and into my channel, and this is the first time that you come here, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. But you gotta realize where this country's headed, and you can't wait until it's destroyed. You gotta be preventive. SoCal, where in New York is this? If you haven't seen it, bro, I don't know where you have been. Let me see if I can find a little clip for you. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a clip for you. There's a lot of violent videos, but that's not what I want you to watch. You should be able to look it up. You're at home. Look it on your phone. Yeah, look it on your phone. Look it up. Just put in there Muslims praying in New York and see what comes up. Antifa is at it again, apparently. Meantime, Congress is pushing a new bill that would permanently will bar anyone who enters the U.S. illegally from ever getting a work permit, asylum, green card, or citizenship. Mike Johnson and John Thune were tagged so they can see your comments. Oh, there you go. Okay. Good. They should stay in their country and fight for their country. If they get permission to come to this country, fantastic. But if they don't get permission, they need to stay in their country and fight for their country. That's what they're citizens of, and that's what they're supposed to do. What's going on, free thinker? All right, let me go to the home screen here. Oh, geez. I've been watching so many videos from these traitor Democrats. It's crazy. Our cities are being destroyed, and these guys are out here acting like baboons. Buffoons. Baboons. Still thinking in Spanish. Oh, here we go. Check this out. Japan new anti-Islam laws. No halal. Halal is banned. Mosques are banned. Call to prayer is banned. The burqa is banned. We should do the exact same thing. If Japan can do it, we can do it. And guess what? Muslims believe that if this country does not allow them to practice everything that Islam teaches, that they will just leave. Well, let's make it. Let's ban it. No mosques, no more halal, no more call for prayer, no burqas. Get the hell out of the United States of America if you can't respect our culture, our Western culture, our laws. And if you think that Sharia law is above all, then you can go to your country where you can be happy, torturing your women, degrading your women, and teaching your children to be hateful little brats, and give them an AK-47 like you normally do. This is what the hoodies are doing over there for Iran as well. I am all for Japan, man. I wish that we can do this. All right, let me take a look at Graham. Messages. You know what? I'm over here looking at my phone. Let me just read it off the... My laptop is bigger. X account. It's a beautiful rainy day here in Washington State. That's good to hear, Mark. Man, God bless you and your family. See, Abdullah knows the truth. That's the truth. Abdullah knows the... No, don't delete that comment. Let the people know the truth. This is what they want. They want Sharia law. They allow men to beat their women. They allow men to beat their women. This is what this peaceful religion teaches. And this is what Abdullah and any other dumbass Muslim actually protect and want. They're criminals. They're violent. They wish death. They worship death. We worship life. Let me see if I can get on my Facebook as well. As a matter of fact, no. I'm not going to get on Facebook there. Oh, shoot. My Facebook is on that one. Shoot. Oh, here's some good news for Democrats. And why is it not hard for me to believe? Bipartisan panel finds 25 ethic violations. The House Ethics Committee, evenly split between Democrats and Republicans, concluded after a rare public hearing that Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick committed 25 violations of House rules. The charges center on allegations she misused funds, $5 million in COVID-19 disaster relief funds to finance her congressional campaign and personal purchases, including a 3.14 carat yellow diamond ring, Only 2 of the 27 allegations were dismissed, with the panel set to recommend sanctions after the April recess. This is Democrats. It's what they do. And I keep telling you over and over and over again. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, SoCal, but why don't you ask Gavin Newsom how come he doesn't investigate this fraud going on in South California, where you're from? You should be up for that one. All right, let me see if I can. I'm going to log in with my profile. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right, new tab. Demonstrators clash at protests in downtown Dallas. This guy's $3 billion. Many corporations are funding this No Kings protest, all this violence. They are being sponsored by communists. Just so you know. You know what I find interesting? Whenever a Democrat says, oh my God, $12 billion, we could have fed this and we could have fed that. And I'm just like, you know what? You had all that money during all these decades that you've been in office and you haven't done shit with the money. So I don't want to hear it. Let me see if I save that on my X account. Yeah, okay. Let me see what I got here. All right, got Japan. Oh, check this out. The Republic of Somaliland, a partially recognized African state, calls to extradite Representative Ilhan Omar after Vice President Vance accused her of immigration fraud. The nation's official X account responded to Vance's allegations and said in writing, "Deportation? Nickel, please. You're just sending the princess back to her kingdom. Extradition? Say the word." Sending the what? The princess back to her kingdom. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Why do you think she's a princess in Somaliland? Take a big guess. Little hint. USA ID. Yeah, that's right. That's your hint. That's what you get. Man, the fraud is crazy. Thank you, David. It's not Batman, it's the Orange Wonder. Don't worry, my Superman hat should be on the way. Let me see if it's home already. Let's see. Too much common sense. I just don't understand why people can't see it that way. You guys ready? All right, that one was already delivered. It's about to get delivered. You ready? Here's the hat. That's what it is. No, name calling is just for fun. It's just for fun. But you know what's great is that freedom of speech is fantastic, isn't it? It's not there to protect what you like. It's there to protect what you don't like. Now, there is a difference when you say death to America. I don't think you should be able to say that in your freedom of speech. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. Why are you such a getter when you can't even speak proper English? Oh man, you know what? I have something on my desktop all ready for you. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. Let me see if I can. How do I look at? Here we go. There it is. Come on. I've been watching so many videos and interviews and all kinds of stuff. Probably don't have it here, but you know what? I can probably search it. Why do I subtitles?
To Saddam Hussein.
There we go. This is for the jackass that says you don't even speak good English. This is for you.
Lies.
The Americans tell lies. Each day our forces grow stronger. Each day we move closer to our goal of driving the infidel... What are they?
Nothing. Carry on.
Driving the infidels from our motherland. We are not afraid to... Are they subtitles? They are, aren't they?
No.
What do I need subtitles for? Can't you understand what I'm saying? I studied English at the bloody American University in Cairo.
Well, obviously I can understand what you're saying.
Oh, you see how they condescend to us with their subtitles.
Oh, maybe it's teletext, for the hearing impaired.
Teletext.
No, a lot of TVs come with teletext nowadays.
Wait.
To Saddam Hussein. Think otherwise.
That's for you.
The American...
Now that's not the video that I wanted to show you, but don't worry, I got a better one. Let me see. Let me see if this one has the whole thing.
The American...
Let me see if it has the whole thing. No, it doesn't. But I like the end of it. The end of it says, "Shut up." Ah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for somebody to tell me that when I'm on my desktop. Because I clipped up very, very good. I'm telling you that right now. Let's see. Cutting Edge says, to anyone defending Islam, look up the marriage age in the nearly 57 Islamic countries. Their PDF for the religion itself. Absolutely. Well, I mean, think about it. Muhammad was in his middle 50s, early to mid 50s. Muhammad. His bride was 6 years old. Some say 7. But he waited until she was 9 years old to consummate the marriage. Imagine that. You worship a 53-year-old man sleeping with a prepubescent child. Who's the pedophile? Why is that religion even allowed in my country? Is beyond me. It is beyond me. I know very little about Ruth. What about her? Muhammad claimed himself to be a prophet from Allah. No witnesses, no demonstrations, nothing miraculous. He just said he was. Oh yeah, if you're a Muslim, you absolutely do. You must. It is Islam. Submission. What happens if you blaspheme against Muhammad? What happens? What happens if you blaspheme against Muhammad? No. No, I don't worship a Jewish man. I worship Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who was born of a Virgin Mary. No man touched her, but the Holy Spirit. He made himself man to be able to die for us. And that's a big difference, my friend. He was 100% man, absolutely. But he was 100% God as well. The uneducated broke buffoon. That will keep you coming in there. Yeah, okay. No wonder your comments are being hidden. Yeah, Willem is also a Muslim. What a loser. You know, I'm not afraid and I'm not ashamed to say that, because if anybody wants to come on and tell me that what I say is a lie, well, I got plenty of people that I can recommend for you to go and debate. You can go and debate God logic. Go and debate God's logic. Do it. He has been destroying Islam forever. Nobody can fight this guy. They can't handle him. I watch him for hours sometimes, and I'm just like, bro, I don't got patience to debate these people. Like, they are wrong. They're horrible. And it doesn't matter how many times he proves them wrong. They still want to debate. They still want to debate. Like, what is there to debate? What is there to debate? We already know. Please, God Logic is very educated, sir. A lot of experience. I like tacos, that's for sure. I love tacos. After years of being treated as an outsider, gaining U.S. citizenship feels like safety and legitimacy. To protect that, what do I have to do? To protect that, you overcompensate by extreme patriotism. AE, suck a big one. Hope you choke on it too. I don't care what your insignificant, puny mind says. I know my heart, and I know why I love this country. And it is obvious to see that I am not overcompensating, protecting the country that everybody envies. It's not overcompensating patriotism. The fact that you are in it, the fact that millions of people come to this country, the fact that all countries, all of their people around the world, they want to come to the United States of America. And it's not because this is an ugly country. It's not because it's not a good country. It's because it's the best country in the world. Indians don't fit in India. Billions of Indians in India. There is so much land in Africa. Why don't they go there? Why don't they go to the Middle East? Why don't they just go and live in Ukraine and Russia and, well, China, doggone it, is huge. They also got billions of people. But everybody around the world wants to come here. So you wonder why I want to protect this place so much? It's because everybody wants to be in it. And if they can't have it, they don't want anybody else to have it. And I am going to stand for the truth no matter what you say, regardless of your insults. The truth is the truth. And the United States of America, if you don't agree with me, then you shouldn't be in this country. If you don't believe that this country gives you all the freedoms and all the rights and is the best country in the world, then you should leave and go find another country like it. But you won't do it because you're a hypocrite. You don't let somebody work and you get in the way. That's all you do. You're an obstacle. Cutting edge, thanks, bro. He is going to say that Ruth was 3 years old. No, she wasn't. But the Bible never mentions her age. Yet no 3-year-old could carry a bucket of water to give a camel a drink, considering how many liters a camel drinks. It's impossible. So that's what he was trying to mention, the Ruth. Please, bro. Please don't tell me that, man. Jeez. Oh man. Marrying age for the traditional Jews is mid-teens, 15 years old, 15 years and older, maybe 14. No, please, thank you. Somebody has a sense of humor. Love your accent. My accent's horrible, but thank you for the compliment. I'll take it. I take so much negativity, so many insults from everybody on the left. They dox my channel. They report it. They spam it with negativity. They don't recommend it. They do everything they can to silence me. But you know what? We continue showing up. It is what we do. We continue to show up. Let me see. Let me get the brightness off on here. Just a little bit more, buddy. There we go. The brightness on my laptop is very, very low because conserving battery, and I don't have. By the way, man, show up, my bro, says Paul. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate all of you, man. This is for all of you guys here on my chat. Let me see. Grabbing here some emojis from the chat. Thank you all for the love and support. God bless the USA. And we're going to finish that with an eagle and myself. This is for all of you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Throw a couple of hearts in there on the chat. Appreciate it. Man, Cutting Edge is represented over here with all these supers. God is always great. God is always good. He is the only truth. That's right. And his son, his name is Jesus Christ. Isn't that fantastic that we don't deserve salvation, but we have a merciful God? That, by the way, one of the reasons why I am the way that I am. Hey, Faith Walker, how are you? Let me read that. I like this. God's love, let me read that here on my laptop. God's love offers hope to all through Jesus' sacrifice. We are restored, embrace his grace, live in his truth, and spread his peace to the hurting world. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Don't spam it before Streamlabs get you in trouble. But thank you for that comment. I believe it. Even though some people don't interpret discipline or rebuking or exhortation as an evil way of being, but no, that's just another way of showing love, and I believe that. So whoever wanted to talk about Ruth, what did you want to say about Ruth? What did you want to say about Ruth? Somebody mentioned it. Dennis Burke says the No Kings protest was so cringe. Man, but you know what? I'll tell you what, man. They do, bro. They love dictators. They love authoritarians. But I tell you what, I came in and I saw all these people in there, and I saw a lot of elder people protesting, and it broke my heart, you know. And I came into my live, and I started thinking about all these innocent people who are being lied to, and how they are. How can I help them? It broke my heart, and I started crying, you know. And I said, I know I shouldn't cry. I should hold it, but whatever. But you know, it's so hard sometimes to love people, and I don't know how Jesus did it. Honestly, I really don't know why he loved us so much. I will never be able to compare to Jesus Christ. I just can't do it. I can't do it. And you know what's crazy is that I don't cry in a fight. I don't cry when I'm fighting. I only cry when there is nothing I can do for somebody to help. That's who I am. So, if you want to judge me for me, not because of who I approve or disapprove. That's none of your business. Judge me for me. Don't use Trump as an excuse to hate the righteousness that I stand for. Don't use Trump to hate the justice that I claim for people. Don't use Trump to trunk that I believe that the Constitution of the United States of America belongs to American citizens. Don't use Trump to lie to people, to say that we the people is everybody in the world. Don't use Trump's hate to keep Americans' freedoms and rights away from the people that deserve it. Don't use Trump's hate to come and tell me who I am. Who are you? Who do you support? If you say you're a Muslim, you support a pedophile. Period. And you can argue with me and say, oh, that was in the past. And I would, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's get over it. Muslims don't practice that anymore. Okay, let's get over it. But the truth is, they do practice it still to this day. They do whip their women. I just watched a woman who slept with a guy without being married. The guy went free, and the woman got beat up. The woman got whipped in front of the public. And yet the man, nothing. They still practice that today. I saw this Filipina girl also being whipped like this heartless, violent. It is crazy. Hey, Grumpy, I love the hell out of you, but Muslims practice 100% of what the Quran said. I know, Grumpy, and I try to give them the benefit of doubt. Somebody says it's called discipline. Well, they're not denying it. Abdullah doesn't deny it. Don't block his comments. Don't block his comments. He's okay. Yeah, it's too late. You already blocked him for too long. But don't block him. That's right. That's right. You know what? And I can go in and I can look at his activity. So whenever I say that Muslims beat their women, Abdullah says it's called discipline. When I say that Muslims are trying to take over the United States of America, he calls Americans crackheads. Because he saw an American dancing on the streets on drugs. So he believes that person should be what? Abdullah says that it's great news to see people praying on the streets, blocking all traffic. Why? Don't you have mosques to do that? That's what the mosque is for. And I wish they were praising God. But they don't praise the God of life. They praise the God of death. And that is a big difference. Tell me, what is one of the prayers? Recite one of the Muslim prayers on my chat. Especially the part where it says that you're going to do this to us. Where you're going to slit the throats of the infidels that don't accept Islam. Go ahead and recite that prayer. This is the prayers that you guys make. You know what's crazy? This is our prayer. Now I'm going to translate as best as I can. As a matter of fact, no, let me look it up in English. And just so you know that I know it, I'm going to say it in Spanish first. But first, let me find this. And there's always these people that want to just talk too much. Just say what it is. Through prayer. I don't have my Bible with me. That's why I can't say it. Okay. So I'll say it to you in Spanish first so that you do know that I know my prayer. Now, the prayer is how can I say it? The prayer that is given to us in the Bible is sort of not a parable, but is sort of a guidance on how we should pray. And we say this: Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga tu reino y hágase tu voluntad aquí en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy el pan de cada día. Líbranos del mal, no nos dejes caer en tentación. Perdona nuestros pecados como nosotros perdonamos a aquellos que pecan en contra de nosotros. Tuya es la gloria y la honra por los siglos de los siglos. En el nombre de Cristo Jesús. Amén. That is the Lord's Prayer in Spanish. And it breaks down. So the first thing you do is you want to give God all of the glory, all of the things. Put him first above everything. And then ask for his wisdom, for his word, for his message. Ask forgiveness. Will you also say that you will forgive others? Repent of your sins. Give him grace, etc. Here's in English. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For yours or thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. You know, I'm sure that there is one for... Let's take a look. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do Allah's prayer as well? Let's take a look. If I can find it, because I had to go look for that one myself somewhere else. They don't have a PDF on this or what? Let's see. I'll find one. I'll find one. So I want to give you a sample of what I think is good, right? These are some of the things that I think that are good. Let me find them for you because you got to see it this way as well. Because a lot of Muslims, they don't really go digging deep into what they're actually worshiping. Like this guy that Bernier. Oh, Governor Bernier is here? Where at? Where's he at? I don't see him. There you are. I didn't see you, brother. I'm over here busy trying to share some information. God bless you, man. God bless you and your family on this wonderful rainy Sunday in Washington State. I know you probably had some good weather down in Cali. It's all right. So here's something. Here's an example of protection and victory. The prayer, Muslims may pray to Allah for protection from enemies. such as, "O Allah, do not break my heart and do not make a matter difficult and protect me from the evil of my enemies." This is against oppressors. Prayers for divine assistance against oppressors, Salimun, are considered acceptable in Islam, with many citing the need for justice and protection from harm. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay. Protection from harm, a specific prayer to make enemies blind to one's presence or harm is, "And we have put a barrier before them and a barrier behind them, and we have covered them up so that they cannot see." Lord our God, give us patience and strengthen our feet and grant us victory over the infidels. While some verses are sometimes interpreted as calls for violence against non-believers, many scholars emphasize that these were historically specific commands meant for a defensive war where Muslims were being persecuted, rather than a general open-ended command against all non-Muslims. So when it comes to that, I don't see any harm on that. They got the right to protect themselves. Here's what I want: the kindness and peaceful. This is what I want. Conversely, the Quran commands kindness towards those who do not fight against Muslims or drive them out of their homes, highlighting that Islam does not forbid good treatment of non-believers, provided they do not attack or oppress. Interesting. So, if I go into your country, into your home, in your country, where the religion is Islam, Muslim, I will respect you 100%. I don't want to be with you because I don't want to see you beating your wife. But hey, that's your religion. Keep it. It's yours. Fantastic. The moment you come into our country, you decided to migrate into Western culture. That's when your Islam is not good. You don't bring it with you. And if you're not accepted to practice Islam at its fullest, then you shouldn't be here. And guess what? You're not accepted to practice Islam to its fullest. I know a lot of them myself. But here's the problem, that they ignorantly are supporting those bad Muslims. It's kind of like, for me, for example, if I say I'm a Christian, are you going to tell me that I'm going to go out there and support anybody that says they're Christians? No. I will speak against any so-called Christian that believes that sexual perversion, it's okay unto God's eyes. You cannot be gay and be a pastor. You cannot be a lesbian and become a bishop. You cannot. The Bible's very specific of who can run the church. If you want to be a pastor or a bishop, the Bible says that you're supposed to be a good man, not a woman, a good man of integrity, of good testimony. You should be married to one woman. You should be faithful. And you shouldn't drink. If you want to be a deacon or a servant in the church, it's the same thing. You got to have good testimony. You got to be married to a woman. You got to have, how can I say? You got to be loyal to that woman and to not drink too much. So you can drink, but you're not supposed to get drunk. Now, if you are not a beacon or a pastor, what does that tell you? You can drink, but the advice will still be don't get drunk. It's a sin to be a drunkard. That means alcoholic. You got to be delivered from that. So that's the worst of Christianity, that it tells you not to do these things. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's good advice for us anyway. Imagine if we don't drink, right? If we don't do drugs, it doesn't matter. Once we have a license and we drive, we will never get a DUI because we will never drink. I don't believe prohibition is coming back. Tell me, Abdullah, what are Muslims commanded to do to homosexuals? Let's see what kind of Muslim this guy is. Maybe he's one of the so-so guys. Go ahead, put it on the chat. Don't delete his comment. Let me see if he says it. Let me see if he's honest. Hi, Sandra. How are you, sis? Thank you so much for your prayers, guys. You guys' prayers really give me strength. Jack Keller hated is to string a word. Didn't like him. Yeah, don't be political. Don't be what do they call that? Politically correct. Don't worry about that. Sometimes those words are nothing. Dave says, as you do unto others, you do unto me, Jesus Christ. Yes. And I can tell you this. Watch this. If I tell my son, I need you to clean your room. Yes, Dad. I told him one time. If I tell my daughter, I need you to clean your room. Yes, Dad. Oh, I'm going to read the whole list. No. What would Muslims do to homosexuals? What are you supposed to do to homosexuals according to Islam? If my daughter decides not to clean the room, I'm going to tell her, clean your room. And she's going to say, yes, Father. Now, my son cleaned his room. I don't tell him anymore. My daughter still didn't clean her room. I need you to clean your room. Why are you always telling me to clean the room? Well, because you don't listen. So do unto others as you would do unto me. If you are obedient, as Christ was to his Father, you will never have to hear that command again and again and again. So yes, remember the truth is a sword with two edges that cut. So if you want to put Jesus Christ as the example of how to be obedient, then you also have to say that if you're disobedient, you are not being like Christ. So that's a big difference. Yeah, we don't allow lashing in this country. We had a lot of bad stuff in our history. Don't need. 1 Timothy 2 says, pray for all of them, thankfully in the name of the Son who fixed what Adam, the first son of God, failed. That is correct. And there's there's a mystery in there, but that's not for me to tell you today. There's a reason why Adam was the first son of God, not the first God son of God. There's a different kind of son title. You're like MJT saying Christ is king. Yes, absolutely. Christ is the king, the Lord of lords, and the King of kings. What about gummies? I don't know. I don't know what kind of gummies, but they're bad. They're bad. I said, Güero says he was an atheist most of his life. Newborn Christian now. That's good to hear, bro. Good to hear. Sergeant Zero, how are you, sir? How are we doing? You recovering good? Yeah, okay. And baptism is symbolical. All right, so here we go. Punishments, according to the Quran. If you don't believe on any of these, you are an infidel. You ready? Here we go. Adultery and fornication, 100 lashes for both the man and the woman involved, with no pity allowed to stop the punishment. 24, 2 and 3. This is the zina. False accusation. Listen to this. False accusation. 80 lashes for accusing women of adultery without producing 4 witnesses. I would like to adopt Sharia law and use it against the Democrats. Yeah. Every single person that has called President Trump a pedophile without proof, without any conviction, according to the Quran, I want to see every single one of them get 80 lashes. And Abdullah, the Quran commands you to throw them from the highest point, and you choose a building. Don't believe too much that is his using taqiyya, which is a lie. I'm nobody's fool. I do my own research, and I know that's what it is. Here we go. Theft. Cutting off the hand of both male and female thieves, which can be modified or restricted by certain conditions. Highway robbery, waging war on Allah. Oh boy. Here we go. So I will make an accusation if there is proof, right? But an accusation, I'm not a Muslim. But you, the leftists, protect the Muslims. You believe that Islam should be allowed in this country. I don't. So by your own belief, I want you to be punished by it. Not because I say so, but because you say so. You see the difference? I am glad I'm a Christian, I'll tell you that right now. All right, so here we go. The penalties include, of course, death, crucifixion, cutting off your limbs, or exile from the land. I will take exile from the land. I definitely. Exile from the land. And I bet you that all these criminal Muslims that are here, that's probably why they're here, running away from their own Islam, and yet pretending that they're real Muslims over here when they're just rageful, hateful criminals. And you know what? Maybe those are the Muslims that we are seeing on the street. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. And the murder, of course, the Quran explicitly allows for the death penalty in cases of murder, but emphasizes the principle of a life for a life, nail for a nail, tooth for a tooth, and eye for an eye. That was the always in the Old Testament as well. It encourages blood money as compensation over execution. Here we go. You guys ready? Christianity told you, if you want to be a pastor, married to one woman, be faithful, be of good character, and don't drink. That's it. Don't drink. In the Islam, drinking alcohol, while not explicitly detailed in the Quran, it is punished by 40 to 80 lashes, based on the consensus of the Prophet's companions, the Sunnah. Apostasy, you ready? Leaving Islam. It is punished by death. Stoning to death for adultery. It says it's not mentioned in the Quran, but it's a punish derived from the Hadith and the book of Deuteronomy. That is correct. The tahzir, discretionary punishments given for crimes not covered by hudud, often including lesser penalties such as imprisonment or reduced flogging, according to the Oxford Law blogs. So there you have it. You want to be a Muslim? I'm going to tell you, sometimes I want to say yes to making this country Muslim, because none of this No King's protest will be happening. None of this pornography over the internet here would be happening. There would be no gays, no LGBTQ, all that gone. Antifa, gone. I don't know. It is debatable. I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now. Hey, man, maybe Islam is the way to go. Maybe Islam is how you get rid of Democrats. Oh, boy. Think about that, guys. No more gays. No more LGBTQ. No more freedom of expression. No more Second Amendment right. No more anchor babies. No more citizenship just for being born here. Yeah, I think Islam is it's a good catch. Oh man, my man in the house, Jason Beatrice. How are you guys, man? See, Scott says he is Antifa. You would not exist under Islam. You better be a very good Muslim. And I don't know how Antifa will fit in there, but I'm sure they can use you. They'll probably give you a bomb to go and prove yourself. Hey, think about it this way. When you die, you get 72 virgins up in heaven. The only problem is you ain't going to have no winker. Oh, man. Jason Martin says fresh salsa and guacamole. What the hell is that about? Let me see if I can log into my Facebook. You're going to maybe log into my Facebook. Uh-oh. FBI chief's push on old Swalwell case sparks alarm. Oh, what is that about? I don't like Swalwell, by the way. I think he is a traitor that slept with a Chinese spy, and I just don't know why he's allowed to be in politics at all. He shouldn't be allowed in government at all. God, you know what? I can spend all day at the airport just watching planes take off and land all day long. That's just me. The No Kings protest was a ridiculous joke. It made no sense. It made no sense at all. Yeah, remember the quiz for Palestine? I know. I remember. Let's see, what's happening? Kash Patel is pushing to release redacted FBI files from a close probe into Representative Eric Swalwell's past contacts with a suspected Chinese spy. I just mentioned that, didn't I? I just mentioned it. And here we go. Why it matters. The release efforts comes during Swalwell's California gubernatorial campaign, raising concerns of political targeting and potential election interference. The political backlash, well, Democratic leaders accused Patel and Trump of weaponizing the FBI, while internal bureau voices warn of risk to sources and investigative methods. Well, Swalwell. Wasn't the Democrats spying on the Republicans? I remember hearing about that, but nothing really happened, did it? I believe that if they try to investigate me and over-investigate me and over-audit me, I'm going to tell them the same thing. Hey, they're weaponizing the government against me for running for governor of Washington State. There you go. So, unredacted documents. Does that sound familiar? Democrats say President Trump is guilty of everything. And now that we're talking about Swalwell, you're saying what? No evidence? You see what I'm saying? Just saying. The proposed release falls within a sensitive pre-election period when Justice Department practice counsels caution to avoid actions that might influence voting. Legal and law enforcement experts warned that publicizing redacted investigative files from a closed case during an active gubernatorial campaign could erode trust in the FBI's impartiality. I don't give a shit. Tell me the truth. The truth shall set you free. Nobody should be opposing the truth. Possum says gays for God. Listen, let me tell you where I stand on gays, okay? I love all people. If you're homosexual, it goes against God's creation. The Bible calls it an abomination. And the Old Testament and the New Testament also rejects it. But God said to love everybody, and we do. And if you want to continue to practice that, which, by the way, I got a lot of friends and even some family that are gay. I got no problems with them. We get along just fine. That is different than your salvation. That's between you and God. I'm not going to force you to make a decision. That's your decision. But I will expect the same courtesy in return. Meaning that don't judge me for me. Let my salvation be between me and God. But we're going to judge each other on what we do here on this earth. It's too much winning, man. Too much winning. So anyway, so they like to say, oh, they're weaponizing, the government. But that's exactly what they did against President Donald Trump. 12 minutes. 12 minutes in office. I mean, not even in office. 12 minutes declared that he was the president of the United States of America. You see what I'm saying? 12 minutes when they announced that he was president. They were already making rallies. They were already planning impeachment. And we got Talib Rashid in one of my videos. I still got her on my computer. Impeach the mother, she says. By the way, raising Palestinian flags What happened to democracy? I thought Democrats were all in for democracy. I always explain to people this is a constitutional republic, and we do have a democracy. But you can't, if you say impeach President Trump, but we want him there, you're going against the will of the people. Save America Act. 80, 70, 90. The people have spoken. And the Democrats, they don't listen. The Democrats say Americans need to suffer more. Right? Just telling you the truth. Let me go to my profile, see if I save some of this information that I want to share with you. And my internet's slow because I'm sharing from my phone. All right, let's see if I can get this for you guys to hear. Let's see if it gets loud enough.
Detainers and denying federal officers access to criminal aliens. The invasion of our country over the last 4 years involved a two-pronged approach, whereby the Biden-Harris administration and then sanctuary cities, counties, and states have intentionally ignored federal law and shielded individuals who entered our country illegally from accountability. The individuals running these so-called sanctuary jurisdictions are refusing to cooperate with ICE, rejecting lawfully issued detainers, and denying federal officers access to criminal aliens who are in their custody. Even some colleges and universities have adopted these radical policies, thereby limiting cooperation with ICE. These actions don't just affect these cities or jurisdictions, they affect every single state, including Wyoming. If these communities are going to violate federal law and endanger the safety and security of our citizens and those who are in our country legally, then I don't believe that they should be receiving federal funds and other benefits. For example, we issue student visas to more than 1 million foreign college students and over 50,000 international K-12 students. Foreign college students alone contribute more than $50 billion to the communities where their schools are located. Sanctuary states benefit the most from the issuance of student visas, with California, Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York receiving 19 of this $50 billion. If these sanctuary jurisdictions are going to refuse to comply with federal law, then perhaps they should not benefit from the federal actions that make these monies available. I have therefore introduced the No Student Visas for Sanctuary Cities Act to block the issuance of student visas to schools located within sanctuary jurisdictions. Sanctuary cities need to be held accountable for their
I agree.
aliens who are in their custody. Even some invasion of our country over the last 4 years. Colleges.
I agree with it, and I wait, lady,
invasion of our
enough.
country over the last 4 years, radical policies, thereby limiting.
I can't pause it. Oh, there we go. All right, and I agree with that. So I'm not sure why people get mad at me for sharing the truth. It is what it is. Here's some Cuban Americans celebrating here, it looks like. Reception sucks. All right, and here is the identity fraud victims are now demanding arrest after watching their private information end up on LA's Skid Row in a cash for ballots scheme. Frontlines Turning Point USA is teaming up with James O'Keefe, Citizen Justice League, and Discover Institute for the latest drop in this multi-part investigation. Let me go ahead and share this clip. I think it's important to share it.
Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles is one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America.
This is hell on earth.
A human dumping ground infested with crime, open-air drug use, and unimaginable suffering on virtually every block. This chaos is also what allows alleged fraudsters to blend in and prey on the most vulnerable. In this Frontlines Turning Point USA multi-part investigation with O'Keefe Media Group, Discovery Institute, and other independent journalists,
Registering people to vote in exchange for money.
Cam Higbee and I went undercover and witnessed multiple instances of ballot initiative workers
I want to get $5. I heard I can get $5
paying cash to homeless drug addicts for their signatures.
Here's what petition.
A felony-level crime according to California law.
Every single homeless person on Skid Row that we asked is aware that this is happening.
But this guy took it to another level.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, put down. You registered to vote?
No. He wanted us to sign these initiatives using other people's names and home addresses.
My name's John. Don't you put that name.
Which is identity fraud, another felony.
Is this right, brother?
When I showed hesitation, listen to what he had to say.
Is it conflicting with your morals, is it?
Did you hear that?
Is it conflicting with your morals, is it?
Since we do have morals, instead of signing, our team immediately notified authorities, including Governor Gavin Newsom and Attorney General Rob Bonta.
They do not have that authority.
They responded by saying this would be investigated.
These people are just continuing the cycle of harm and suffering on these people so they can manipulate them for political gain.
As for some of these victims of
California is just fantastic, isn't it? They're just great people. This is why SoCal is so happy about California and the Democrats running the state. I don't understand why I get upset at SoCal. I mean, everything seems to be so beautiful in California. They seem to follow the law. There is no fraud committing over there. We don't give sponsorships over here. You're in the wrong channel, my friend. You're in the wrong channel. Let me put this down here a little bit. I wish I can show you the planes as they go by, but no, Billy Bob, you got to earn it. I still got to see more of you. We'll see. We'll see how you do. Disgusting garbage everywhere in Seattle. All right, I shared all that before with you guys. I do have a document that I want to read to you, but we'll do that tomorrow on the live tomorrow. Today, I want to share. This is Eric Lundberg. This is a guy that I am going to team up with. Actually, we're teaming up already as I speak. But this is him right here.
So let me get this straight. If I don't pay my taxes, the IRS can freeze my bank accounts, seize my property, cancel my passport, garnish my wages. But the reason why I can't pay my taxes is because they keep going higher and higher and higher, because the IRS keeps wasting all the taxes that they collect from us. When are we going to seize IRS property? When are we going to seize government property? Just a question.
You see what I'm saying? He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. And that's communism. If you didn't know, that's communism. Communists, they like to run the country the way they want it. And they like to put rules where they put you in a very impossible position. Like literally, they'd rather you be homeless than to prosper. So they put the burden on you. Think about look at this. I'm going to give you an example, very clear example. Even though you don't believe what happens here in Washington, that we live, another American like Eric Lundberg says, it's not just me. There's many of us here, and I hope that more conservatives that live here in Washington State will stand up and join with us. We just need the votes. We just need the votes. Mamdani, he was promising this affordable rent. How's that going? Let's take a look. Affordability in New York. Hey, no more Abdullah, huh? Abdullah left already? Yeah. They don't like it when we tell them the law, the Sharia law that they worship so much. Once we start saying what it is, they don't like it no more. But that's just how it goes. Let me see. How is affordability in New York under Mamdani, I think is his name. Okay, here we go. I know we got to give him a break. It's just been a few months. I know. We'll just give him a break. You're welcome. But remember, only Christians love you the way you are. Muslims will give you 80 lashes or throw you from the downtown building here in Washington State. Let's see. It's too soon to determine, of course. I know it's too soon, but here we go. So as of early 2026, Mayor Mamdani is addressing New York City's affordability crisis by focusing on speeding up affordable housing construction, with plans to cut pre-development times and proposals to significant investment in public housing, often funded by higher taxes on top earners. However, critics argue his policies are fiscally risky, potentially leading to increased government spending, and some critics suggest less market-driven housing development. See, he believes that if you own an apartment complex and you got tenants, they keep raising the taxes, the property taxes, the business taxes, and all of these things to where the landlords can't afford to pay for their repairs, right? Okay. And what happens is when they can't pay the repairs, Mayor Mamdani says that he is going to give somebody else, a contractor, the jobs. And the owner of those apartments, the landlord, has to pay that bill. But if they don't pay that bill, he will take the whole property for himself, for the government. That's communism. They destroy your business, they raise your taxes to where you can't pay them, and then they come after your stuff. You just heard it from Eric. They freeze your accounts, they take your house, anything that you own, including your vehicle. So if you're homeless and you sleep in your car, even that is going to be taken away. And so they believe on hiring more IRS agents. I don't make it up. I didn't say it. It is what it is. Man, that's crazy. Very well done. All right, let me see what other news I got in here. I think my go live on Twitch. What is this? I'm not even going to listen to that crap. All right, here we go. Now, this is an unconstitutional tax. This is something that the Democrats here in Washington State, they didn't give Washingtonians the option to vote for it, because if we voted for it, we would have said no. So they unconstitutionally went behind our back, so to speak, even though we know what's going on, and they put it on the floor without the people's vote. That is unconstitutional in Washington State. Now he passes the bill, and let's read what this document says. As of March 29, 2026, Governor Ferguson will take action on the following Senate bill. Commencing at 10 a.m., engrossed substitute Senate Bill number 6346, relating to investing in Washington families and businesses to fund kinder through 12 education, health care, higher education, other essential governmental services, and the Working Families Tax Credit, and to reduce certain sales and use taxes and certain businesses and occupation taxes by establishing a tax on millionaires. You know why I make that face? Because this whole reduce certain sales taxes is talking about a couple of days for buying diapers. How about a few months of no taxes or regulations on gas prices? How about that? So I guess at 10 a.m. tomorrow, he's going to sign it. I said, get her done. Well, that's a nice shirt. Former Illinois Governor Rob Blagojevich told Newsmax that state and city leaders helped create the conditions that led to the number of Loyola University freshmen Sheridan Garment in Chicago. They're also the people responsible for Good and Pretty getting killed by ICE agents. Travis, yeah, I gotta meet with a bunch of people. I gotta share this meme with you. During the No Kings protest, okay? Liberals hate all kinds of kings. Working, thinking, fact-checking, and making sense. Oh, man, I had to share that. I had to share that with you. All right, let's put this away. Turn that off. Yeah. We're going to go to, where are... The Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as the Obamacare. I could never afford the Obamacare at all. Must be replaced for these Democrats that keep saying Trump should come up with a new healthcare plan, etc., well, here you go. Must be replaced by payments being made directly to the people so that they can buy their own healthcare rather than to bloated and uncaring insurance companies. Obamacare is not and never has been sustainable. Now, if you wanted me to disagree with President Trump, well, here it is. I disagree with the idea of giving the people the money, but what they should get is a sort of a voucher that they can take to whatever care facilitator they want, and it needs to be taken. Why do I say that? Because if they give people money, like literal money, they're not going to go and use it on their own health care. They're just going to use it for something else. I will just tell you that right now. Yeah, Samuel says free health service like here in England, and it's just best in the world. Well, you guys have less people than we do, I think. So that could work. It works on a smaller scale, but here in the States, you can have, if we get rid of waste and abuse, we probably would have a free healthcare. But just as it is right now, it's overwhelmed. It's overwhelmed. You got to wait like 2-3 months if you want to get a primary physician, a doctor, family doctor. People just use it. And listen, you can say whatever you want, but I can tell you this. When I go to the clinic, every person that is in the clinic, I kid you not, I'm really not making this up. They look foreigners. No white people, rarely any black people, a lot of Hispanics, Indians, and I don't know if there's Somalis. Well, some of them, they look Somalis. But it's a lot of Middle Eastern people and African people in the clinics. It's overwhelming. And it's not just Americans need it. Well, maybe. Yes, Streamlabs is with me. That is correct. Yeah, it doesn't let you curse or anything like that. Somalians, they have a small chin. Some have the goat teeth sticking out, but they have like alien faces, like this. They got the big head up here and thin chins. Am I right? That's just the way they look. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm just saying that's the way they look. Look at my face, my round face. And that's part of my Indian heritage, but so what? That's the way we look. It is what it is. Why don't we take a look? What do Somalis look like? Did I get it wrong? Did I get it wrong? I'm trying to find somebody you know. And I know there's a lot of inbred in Somali, that's why, but But they're starting to mix with other races, and their appearances will change. That's what Somalis look like. Love your culture, brother. Love your people. Yeah. You don't love your people. Doesn't matter what they look like. Love your people. Hey, guys. I know that you guys think that I can be here all day. It is Sunday. I wanted to wish you guys a happy Sunday. I want to show you my hat. Let me see if my Superman hat, it's already at the house. Does anybody want to call in? If anybody wants to call in, you can put a 1 on the chat. Oh, yeah. It has been delivered, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody want to call in? Robert? Oh, yeah. Wedo wants to call in. Call in, Wedo. How the hell do you know how long distance? You still got that welfare phone? Wedo still got the prisoner's phone that he got when he was approved for welfare. Robert is already calling, and I was going to put that on the chat.
Hey, just a quick thing. I went on For Real with Mike last night.
Yeah.
He gave your channel a huge shout out, dude.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Real with Mike is pretty good. We actually think alike, I believe.
You do.
Yeah, I think we have the same common sense sort of thing.
But I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, later, brother.
Wedo call in.
Yeah, we want Wedo to call
My
in.
favorite troll, you know.
He's leering too, man. He's leering.
Talk to you later, bye.
Yeah. Robert is already calling, and I'm going to put that on the chat. Okay, pin number. Just so you know, that little symbol next to me, that's supposed to be an eagle. It's supposed to be an eagle. I don't know why it's not giving it to me. If you guys notice, the members, you guys don't have the Dragon Ball Z characters no more. You guys actually have an icon like the eagle, like the emojis. You guys, let me see if any of you guys have the President Trump. Nobody yet. None of you have President Trump yet. So, eagles, yeah, that symbol right there, Robert, that eagle, that's supposed to be on there as well. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and I believe, let me see how this goes. I believe new members or a month, you guys are the bald eagle. And then it goes on. It goes up. Let me see if I have the members. On the cell phone is different. I can't see it on here. Content, analytics. Let me see. What did I put? I think I put JD Vance. I don't know. It will be, I think, anybody that is 6 months or older, I think it's President Trump. The one A pointing at you. Let's see. Yeah, we're only getting like 1.3 million views a month, I guess, every 28 days. I was getting 3 million before, so we want to get back to that number. Hopefully, people are not just not recommending or blocking or reporting. Is what the trolls do when they come in here. It is what it is. It is what it is. I am below the mark of where I normally am. Yeah, for the members and subscribers that actually care, but that's okay. You know what? I always do have a lot of fun. I always like to interact with you guys. If you guys want to call in, there is a number. If you have any questions, let me know. Right now is your chance. All right, enough Batman. Gulf of America. You can do it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and bring my but I'm going to be, I can't have that on. Oh, yeah, it wouldn't be that long. Once I get my, this is going to take a long time. They see me trolling, they're hating. Eric, what are you saying, Eric? Let me see what's Eric saying. Trolling. Scott, how are you, bro? I see you. Are you aware that Trump would probably recommend you for deportation? I couldn't help myself. I doubt it. I doubt it 100%. But good question and good comment. Good comment. Go ahead, Weddle. Text me your number. I'll call you. You can still text. Let's see here. Somebody got a good question. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
This is Sandra Logue.
Oh, hi, Sandra.
Hi, how are you, Dennis?
Not what I was expecting with that number. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to cuss me out of here.
No, I live in Minneapolis, so I'm kind of like, ground center for a lot of the craziness going on.
What do you think about the lady running for governor saying that the only king is the law? What do you think about that?
I absolutely agree. It's gotten to the point where it's like the liberals, leftists, are writing their own laws, are rewriting the laws in this country.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is like almost more of a push towards communism.
Yeah. I know you agree with me. You have common sense, but it's like I want to get a different perspective. Like, is there something different that you would understand from that statement? I mean, the legislative branch is the lawmakers, and
Right.
and they have. Think about this. We voted President Trump in.
Mhm.
They say we're trying to destroy democracy. The President
Correct.
Trump is using the executive power that he has, as any other president has done in history.
Right.
And they just hate it that they're not the ones that said yes. It bugs them that they don't get to say anything on what he does. And that's why they brought up this whole fake kings thing.
Well, that's and that's the whole thing. They've had opportunity to deal with all of this in the past, but they refused to do it because they wanted to bring in, some way of getting money out of the deal.
Yeah.
And this is why, you know, when, like with the Somalis, most of them were flown in.
Yeah.
And the ones that weren't flown in, of course, they got here, and then they bring their families over.
Yeah,
So,
once they get the papers, you know, then they have the right to get their families over here.
right. And as we're finding out, about 80% of the Somalis in Minneapolis anyway are here under immigration fraud.
Yeah.
And we've got some of
that's
them
deep.
and we've got some of those working security over at the airport.
Interesting.
Which is why, you know, for several years there was like $100 million a week being flown out of here.
I heard, and that will make a lot of sense. I mean, besides being able to buy other people, besides Somalis, that would make a lot of sense. Why they would just grab those baggages and yeah, easy to do. You infiltrate the government. You make all this. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I feel so repetitive, Sandra, with everything that I say. But oh my God, it's how do you tell these people just I can make a statement because they call me a liar, but then I have to go in and explain all of these other back doors, you know?
Oh, exactly. I mean, I was discussing this with my mom a few weeks ago, and I had made a comment about, you know, well, maybe Governor Walz will be found, you know, responsible for some of this. And I never even brought up the word Somali, and my mother called me a racist. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, right.
So they all know, if they're following, they all know what's going on.
Right.
And they're going to use that term over and over again, that racist term over and over again, to get out of any kind of an argument, any kind of discussion, any kind of, you know, responsibility for what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I you know, this is why, like, on my channel, I've said it many times, you know, you cannot use any of the BS victim racist. You can do nothing. Like my father is Afro-Mayan descent. Okay, that's the first mix. My mother's full Spaniard. You know, she's a full Spaniard descent. I am a migrant. I respected the law. I know what illegal immigrants do and what they plan and how they do it. I know all that stuff because I know people have done it. And so, and you know, besides being a native here in the American continent, there is nothing that they can tell me. They can't even bring the whole slavery resentment because my country was, you know, destroyed almost by Spaniards. But what I mean by destroy is they destroyed our culture. They destroyed our Indians. There's no more Mayans in Honduras. It's just us. We're a bunch of mutts.
Yeah, I actually was interested in that whole thing at one time and read a lot about the history and stuff and the damage that the Spaniards did.
Yeah.
When they came over, it was really kind of horrifying.
Well, I you know, if I think like a Democrat and like, well, not like a Democrat, but like one of these socialist Democrats, I think Spain owes my country a lot of money. I want it back.
Yeah.
They stole it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, the other thing that gets to me is, you know, that every time, it doesn't fail, every time that you go, if you're not white, I can call you out on your fraud, on your theft, on your crime. It's like these people are stupid. They think, number one, I know my people. And I know when they're thieves. I know when they're drug dealers. I know when they're bad. And I will call them out. I don't care what shade of color they are. I will call them out every single time. So when I see a Somali committing fraud, not just in Minnesota, by the way, but also here in Washington, in Idaho, in Utah, California, Oregon, they are everywhere. And why is it the same fraud? Because they get away with it. They found a loophole and they are exploiting it. And the worst thing is, and I hate this, right? But you know, the IQ in Somalia is very low. It's at the level of retardation. They're retarded according to the United States low IQ you know, numbers that we follow. And I'm not saying that I'm a genius, but doggone it, when you have common sense, I would think your IQ is a little bit higher than 80. You know, and that's a very low bar.
They had, well, it was actually, they do these worldwide things, and they had done, taken, a sample of, Somalis and did IQ tests with them, and they found that their IQ was between 65 and 70.
Wow.
And, which is very sad.
Yeah, very low.
Because and this is why they do what they do. And it's a culture based on crime, basically, because they can't, and because Somalia was destroyed during the revolutions there, which is also very sad. During, there was nothing left. So this is why they take it to piracy, and to and to the life that they lead. They're born into it. They don't have a choice. At this point, the culture is too far gone.
I don't know the answer to this question. I can only stipulate. But, Pritzker has come out quite a few times bragging about Minnesota being the highest employment and all this money coming in. And I will hate to say that the only thing that I can speculate is that all this fraud is what's been given all this fake employment and all this fake money coming in, and they're just abusing it from the government. And just, you can say that you're helping all these American citizens, but it's what do you think about that? What do you think on that part of the economy?
What Waltz is referring to is the employment and so on among the Somali community, not the state.
Right. He mentioned the
Somali
state.
community is doing fantastic. I mean, they're driving around in like $400,000 cars.
That's crazy. Stupid. That's how low IQ they are. Can you imagine, Sandra? Why don't you make a nice freaking house somewhere else where nobody would know? Why would you flash here? Like, I just don't understand.
Well, they just, I mean, and one of the reasons Minnesota was so rich from the picking was because the people here at one time were generally very trusting. You would have to do something to disprove their trust. I mean, I grew up in Minnesota. I've been here since like 1968.
Okay.
And I was gone for a number of years, but when I came back, it had completely changed. There wasn't all the crime that there is now. There wasn't the, people, you'd say hi to somebody on the street and they'd say hi back with a smile or whatever. And now people are just kind of like give you a sideways glance and like hurry around you.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's happening here as well.
Because they just don't know, what's going to happen. I mean, I can't even get on the light rail by myself and take the light rail because, there have been a couple of times that, I was actually mugged once and nearly mugged another time, but I was able to grab my purse back.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather walk, the 3 or 4 miles. I need to go like down to HSUS or whatever and rather than get on that light rail.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of I mean, it's a good thing. I guess it's a good idea, but they're doing a lot of light rail projects here as well, which they are getting finished. Not like California, but they are getting it done. I'm surprised. Like at this area, just to change conversation a little bit. This area where I'm parked, there is planes that come in here, but I noticed that there's a lot more activity right now, and I wonder if it's because of the congestion at the airport in Seattle.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
It would be. I know here, like I was saying in chat, that I was like super thrilled to hear that ICE was going to be coming into the airports and helping out TSA, because of all the Somalis that are working over at the airport. It's like, well, they can just grab them right there and stuff them on a plane.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? They've done the same, and I actually got some clips that I'm going to play for you guys on Monday when I go live. Maybe you can make it, but whenever you can make it, you'll see it. But I stayed up late last night grabbing videos that speak for themselves. And a lot of people like to call me a liar and all this stuff. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then you go ahead and make your own decision about it, whether you want to believe it or not.
It's really tough, because the Democrats have told you for so long not to believe what you see, that it's very hard for people to grasp onto the idea that some of these things are actually happening. Some of these things are actually, they're real. And they're not getting it. And I do know that after Charlie Kirk's assassination, that a number of Democrats did leave the party, either to become Republican or independent.
Yeah.
And slowly, they're slowly, people are realizing that, this isn't the way this isn't what I signed up for.
What's funny is that they flip all of that, and they say that Republicans, MAGAs, are turning and burning the hats and all this stuff. And speaking of burning, this Antifa guys and all these people on the left side, what the hell is wrong with these people burning the American flag? I never understand that.
That just enraged me.
I wonder what veterans do if they just stand around it and just watch them burn the flag. I would love to see a bunch of leftist veterans standing around and see what they do about it. They'll probably just let it happen.
I'll tell you what, leftist veterans, for the most part, that I've read, every time one comes on and starts yapping, you do a little research, and a lot of them have been dishonorably discharged. The gentleman, I use that term loosely, that was killed here by ICE, or actually I think it was DHA.
Oh, they're pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
Was dishonorably discharged from the service.
I thought they couldn't carry guns.
They're not supposed to. So they said that he was carrying that weapon legally. But when you hear that, you have to take that with a grain of salt and think of the source.
Yeah, interesting.
One thing he wasn't supposed to be doing, even if he was legally carrying it, was carrying it to a protest. That's a federal offense in Minnesota.
Was that right? Because everybody keeps saying that he has the right to do that.
Not at a protest. So
that's something new for me.
He was carrying that weapon. It was during protests, and he was not to be carrying it anyway.
Interesting. So why do you think that nobody actually says anything about it? Even if it's an open carry state, if you're not supposed to take it to a protest, maybe there's no clause for it, or is there an actual clause?
There's an actual clause.
Huh. Yeah, because Sean on the chat says that you're lying, and open carry, anybody can take guns to a protest.
And in some states maybe, but not in Minnesota.
Yeah, here I know you can hear. I don't know about Minnesota, but I just thought. I mean, I don't know, but I just thought that if you were dishonorably discharged, I don't think you get to carry a weapon. I don't think you get a permit for that.
It's From my understanding, that was the deal. So when they said that he was carrying it legally, that again becomes suspect because, me being a veteran, it was like that was my first thought when they said that he, when I found out that had been dishonorably discharged.
Interesting.
Was that, he's not supposed to be carrying a weapon unless they may have changed laws or something. I'll have to look that up. But, it's just that, it just gets very frustrating. And when, it's like, it just really gets my ire wet when, they're talking about, the two people murdered in Minnesota. It's like, good, they weren't murdered. But they keep that rhetoric going. Yep.
Yeah, but that just seems to be the Democratic today. That's the mentality. Like, with the 18-year-old girl that died, it was her fault that she ran into a guy with a gun. Like, what the are you talking about? That's
Oh,
an
well,
innocent.
exactly.
That's an innocent 18-year-old female that she. What? No. Yeah, oh, she ran into the bullet. I mean, they might as well just say that.
Okay, she will.
That is crazy
It,
how they defend criminality because it benefits them. But
yeah,
they don't defend
exactly.
ICE, right? Because it doesn't benefit them. Even though they
Right.
really were obstructing, they were trying to harm agents, they were impeding,
Yeah.
and Pretty, they can make all the excuses for him. That's not the first time that he encounters ICE. He's been
No, it
protesting
wasn't.
this whole innocent, whole such a human caring guy. The nurse should be at the damn hospital. That's what he
He
should be
was. Well,
doing.
he had actually been suspended from his job.
I wonder why. He's
Yeah.
such a calm guy, not a fighter at all. He just really loves
Oh,
people.
if you would have been minors, I would have gone to a different hospital to go to. That was just insane. I could, and so yeah, you wonder what he was like as a nurse. What he did, he was probably a physical therapist.
That's crazy.
but
That's
but
crazy.
so there's a lot here in Minnesota that have. There's a lot still happening here. They had
Interesting.
just a few days ago. They had right before the Stone Kings protest.
Yeah.
There were I don't know, probably a couple of dozen people in their vehicles that were lined up on the streets in front of the Whipple building, which is where they're keeping the detainees, and they were impeding ICE's progress to get into the building. They parked on both sides of the street, and they'd see an ice vehicle coming up, and they'd kind of pull their vehicle out so that they couldn't get past. The Hennepin County Sheriff is now taking action, which is fortunate, and started ticketing people. So we'll see what comes of that, because I know that impeding ICE in any way comes with about a 10-year sentence.
Yeah. Well, somebody's on the chat saying, well, why did Rittenhouse got to carry a weapon at a protest? Well, let me clarify a couple of things. So Sean thinks that it's not recommended, but it's not a law to bring a gun into a protest. Let's get things very clear. And I really hate this one-sided argument from the Democrats, because they think that we're not paying attention. They think we're stupid.
Right.
But
Right.
let me make it very, very clear. ICE, from the beginning, has been attacked from day one. And I'm not talking about signs on the side of the, no, they were rocks thrown at them, sticks, bricks, windshields broken, cars burned down, etc. I've seen ICE agents being attacked constantly. Pretty was one of them. He's seen kicking the federal agent's car. He break the back tail light. He is over there being violent with a gun, and he's being violent. I will say there's nothing wrong with you bringing a gun to a protest, but when you go try to be confrontational about it, it is no longer defensive. You are the aggressor. Now, whether he was trying to help this other lady, it's too late. Especially when you have people with whistles agitating and disorienting the agents. If you hear gun, that's it. And the moment that the guy tries to reach for it, even though he was already disarmed, that's it. You're done. They're going to unload the whole clip on you. Period. That's it. And the Rittenhouse was also something that we've seen happen all the time. They were burning the buildings down. They were beating people up. They were throwing rocks and objects at people. If Rittenhouse went out there and said, hey, I'm going to protect my town, he's got every single right to do that. See, the ICE agents are just doing their job. To go in there and instigate violence, that's the problem.
I was living in Milwaukee when that occurred. And it was, and even then, you were only like hearing about, how he shot this black guy, that blah, blah, blah. And it was like, wow. So at first you got the idea that wow, this guy deserves to be in prison. But then you start, like me, I have to research everything. Then start reading, kind of paying attention to some of the other stuff that's being said or not being said. And it's like, well, wait a minute. They put this guy in prison for defending his property and defending his life. And regardless of, what else was going on, he shouldn't be there because of somebody else's actions.
Yeah. Well, and I blame every single politician and even the libtards and the retards on my chat that don't see the problem with people assaulting constantly over and over. I'm telling you, Sandra, I am surprised that there's no more people being shot. I get to the point where I'm like, why are they not shooting at these people? Like that's how serious I get with it. It's like the stupidity that you think that you can throw rocks and harm people and then you get to play the victim card?
Yeah,
not on my watch. No, F that.
And the thing that kills me is we're taught as children not to throw things like rocks at people.
Yeah, it's a weapon, and it can be deadly.
It's like
a car is a deadly weapon.
Absolutely. So it kind of tells you the mentality that they're thinking with.
They have no common sense. That's the problem.
And even if they used to, it's just kind of like been burned away, and they all of a sudden it's like they've got a completely different set of morals.
Yeah.
Than a lot of other people do. And what I'm finding too is that it's not a lot of these protesters and stuff. It's not like huge populations. It's not like massive amounts of people. It's a small group of people. And we wound up with some of the protests to begin with, and then the paid protesters came in, and that's where the problem was coming in. What they have to do, and they know who's paying them. What they have to do is they have to go after these people. They have to go after Act Blue. They have to go after Soros. They have to go after Indivisible, because that's where the money is coming from.
Yeah.
For these protests.
Yeah. Well, they got $3 billion paying protesters, lying to people. They got 8 million people protesting around the world. I don't give a shit about around the world. I care about the United States of America, period. And I can't wait to find out where this money comes from. And I hope that they do something with it, because I am getting tired of these commies trying to destroy our country little by little. They are cannibalizing us.
Yeah.
They want us to destroy each other. The mind of the communists, I detest that mind.
Yeah.
They are just, how evil can you be? These people hate Hitler. They love Stalin. They don't say nothing about Russia or China, but they want to condemn us. These people are so beyond retarded. I don't even know how to help them. I really don't know how to help them.
And a lot of times you can't. They have to, just like, anybody with an addiction, they have to come to their own realization.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true.
And that's kind of what this, and that's almost kind of like what this is. It's like some really bizarre addiction.
Yeah. The other argument, and then we can cut it this so we can listen to President Trump haggling right now, I think he is. The other thing the argument is tax the billionaires.
Exactly.
You know how lazy and how stupid that comment comes in? I will say this. We have so much evidence right now just between California and Washington and New York.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much evidence of what happens when you overtax the rich, overtax the businesses. And these stupid ass people that come in with these comments, and just wait, Sandra, just wait until you hear me campaign. Just wait until you hear me campaign, because all these politicians are going to hear me. The stupidity of this It's the more you tax the businesses, the more we have to pay for everything, you morons.
Oh, absolutely right. And then people, and and just people, your regular people are going, yeah, well, we got a tax bill, and it's like, really? They need to quit giving the billionaires tax breaks. It's like, okay, well, let's see. In 2024, the upper 1% paid 34% of this country's income taxes. I think it was $88 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, they pay a lot of tax. I think that here's the thing, Sandra, and I'm sure that they wouldn't have a problem with it if they felt like they saw the benefit of them paying that tax, like it actually went to the people. I don't think they will have a problem with it. But the problem is all the waste and abuse, and we need to fix that first before we can start making a tax reset. Sandra, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate your input. Please do it again, and let's talk some more about what you see going on over there on that side of the country. Appreciate you so much. God bless you. Thank you for your prayers, for your kind
God
words.
bless you too, Dennis.
All right, you take care, okay?
All right.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, let me see. I think we have a haggle, I guess, from the president. Let me see. Is it on the, let me see. Okay. Let's see.
They've destroyed a lot of additional targets.
Too soft.
The Navy's gone, the Air Force has gone, we know that. But we destroyed many targets today. It was a big day. And we are negotiating with them directly and indirectly. We have emissaries, but we also are dealing directly. And as you know, they've agreed to send 8 boats 2 days ago, and then they added another 2, so it was 10 boats. And now today they gave us as a tribute, I don't know, I can't define it exactly, but they gave us, I think out of a sign of respect, 20 boats of oil, big boats of oil, going through the Hormuz Strait. And that's taking place starting tomorrow morning. Over the next couple of days, a lot of boats. And I would only say that we're doing extremely well in that negotiation. But you never know with Iran, because we negotiate with them and then we always have to blow them up. Whether it's the B-2 bombers or just terminating, as an example, the Iran nuclear deal done by Barack Hussein Obama, probably the worst deal we've ever done as a country, one of the dumbest deals we've ever done. But I terminated it, fortunately, otherwise right now they'd have a nuclear weapon. And we did the attack with the B-2 bombers and we stopped them from having nuclear. And now we had to blow them up again. And we will probably, I think we'll make a deal with them, pretty sure. But it's possible we won't. But we've had regime change, if you look already, because the one regime was decimated, destroyed, they're all dead. The next regime is mostly dead. And the third regime, we're dealing with different people than anybody's dealt with before. It's a whole different group of people. So I would consider that regime change. And frankly, they've been very reasonable. So I think we've had regime change. We can't do much better than that. The regime that was really bad, really evil was the first one. That was done. The second was appointed, and they're gone. They're all dead, other than one who may have a little life in him. And then there really are the third group, and the third group of people that seem to be much more reasonable. It truly is regime change. And regime change is an imperative, but I think we have it automatically. I did something today. We just got these in from the architects. A lot of people are talking about how beautiful the ballroom is. For 150 years, they've wanted to build a ballroom at the White House. And other presidents have wanted it. When we have dignitaries coming like President Xi of China or anybody else, we have very small rooms. They're not big enough to handle the kind of capacity that you need. And this is the same height as the White House. It's an incredible fitting. You see what that is, right? Nice. Here's another view. This is coming from right opposite the Treasury building. Beautiful Capitol. A beautiful building. One of the, I think it'll be the finest ballroom of its kind anywhere in the world. A lot of people are giving it really good reviews. Some are giving it reviews without even seeing the building, because this just came out today. These pictures were just made today. We got rid of, quite a while ago, the stairs on the south side, and it's become really beautiful. But it matches and fits the White House. It's also capable of handling the inauguration. We have all bulletproof glass. We have drone-proof roofs, ceilings, everything's drone-proof and bulletproof. And unfortunately, we're living in an age where that's a good thing. And this is the view from the Treasury, opposite the Treasury. Let me see another one of them. Here's a view on the south with the porch, which is a porch, and it's also a fire stair, basically leading down to the grounds. And that porch will be magnificent, looking in between the columns. And they no longer, we took the stairs out that were on the south side and really replaced them with these stairs. So you have an open porch and you have the closed porch under the columns, overlooking the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial / Monument. So that's great. This is a view of the columns as they are going to be made. They're going to be hand carved and they're beautiful. Top of the line, they'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far. Okay.
What's your timeline on this thing?
Timeline, so we're ahead of schedule and under budget. And all of this money, all of the money paid are paid by myself and donors. And it's all donors. There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom. Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed. But the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom, and that's under construction, and we're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. It's part of it. And the ballroom essentially becomes a shed for what's being built under the military, including from drones and including from any other thing. The glass on the windows, you see the big windows, the glass is extremely thick. It's high-grade bulletproof glass, so all of the windows are bulletproof. I think the Times wrote, gee, some of the windows are fake. We have no fake windows. They talked about a stairway in the south. We don't have a stairway in the south. That was replaced a long time ago. But this is a view of it from the north, and that's, if you see it, it fits in with the White House. It's almost a twin to the White House. It's something we just wanted to pay tribute to the White House. And so that fits in beautifully. Let me just see another one. Here's another one.
Good job, Jason.
Wait, I thought I'd do this now because it's easier. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this is very important because this is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's the highest level. Same height, exact height, if not higher, same height as the White House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, and you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important too.
Mr. President, a deal in Iran this upcoming week.
Say it?
Sir, could you foresee a deal in Iran this upcoming week?
I do see a deal in Iran, yeah.
Mr. President,
Could be soon.
are you considering still putting boots on the ground, and would you do that without going to Congress?
I just have lots of alternatives. We have tremendous numbers of ships over there. We don't need them all because of, the power. Look, I would say we're, just like we're ahead of schedule on the ballroom, in a much bigger way, we're ahead of schedule with Iran. We're weeks ahead of schedule. If you would have said that in 3 days we were going to knock out 158 ships, their entire Navy, which we did, we knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out most of their missiles. That's why you see missile attacks, but they're down to, they're sputtering. And we have a group, it's really a new regime. It's a new group of people that we've never dealt with before, that are acting very reasonable. It is truly regime change.
Is Khomeini's son still alive, sir? Is he a part of these
We think
conversations?
he may be, nobody's heard about him. He may be alive, but he's obviously very seriously in trouble. He's seriously wounded.
You had offered that 15-point plan to Iran. Did they ever come back with a response?
They came back on
What
the
did-
15-point
What did they say?
They gave us most of the points. Why wouldn't they?
You make it sound like they've made some concessions. Can you identify
Well,
those?
they're agreeing with us on the plan. I mean, we asked for 15 things, and for the most part, we're going to be asking for a couple of other things. And just to prove that they're serious, they gave us all these books. When I talked about 4 days ago, a present, I said they gave me a present, but I didn't think I was at liberty to say what it was. What it was 8 plus 2. It's 10 massive boatloads of oil. And today they gave us another present. They gave us 20 boatloads of oil. That starts being shipped tomorrow. We're having very good meetings, both directly and indirectly, and I think we're getting a lot of very important points.
Sir, were you caught off guard when the Senate passed the DHS funding bill?
It's a shame. They should really just go to a filibuster. They should terminate the filibuster,
Will you
and they should vote. That's what I think. Look, I think the Senate is playing it too soft. The Republicans are wonderful people, but we're dealing with very sick individuals. The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists, and we have to protect our country. We have to protect our border. We have to protect our wall. If it was up to them, they'd open up the wall. They'd let millions of people pour into our country again, and we've all been through that. And I don't care if you're liberal or you're conservative. What we have now is we have a beautiful, closed border. We're getting murderers out of our country that Biden let in, the administration, the Democrats. We're getting the drug lords out of our country. We're bringing them back to other countries where they came from all over the world. We have great crime numbers despite the fact that they let in 25 million people. And we're focused on the bad ones. I mean, the ones that came in, we'll work on something, but we have to get the killers out. We have to get the drug dealers out. We have to get the criminally insane. We have people that are criminally insane. They are unbelievably violent people that come out of insane asylums. The Democrats want them protected. I want them out. They have to be
Did you
out.
sign a DHS deal
You
without
can't have a
ICE?
country if they're here.
Did you sign a DHS deal without ICE funding in it?
ICE is vital to the well-being of our country. ICE, first of all, they're great patriots, but they are physically and mentally very strong people. And they are able to protect us from the animals that have been sent in, allowed to be sent in by the Biden administration, where you have people, jails were prisons from Venezuela, from the Congo, from all over the world, from every continent. They were allowed to come into our country, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. You can't have a soft, weak, sad person deal with this. You need strong people. Now, they love our country. They're very brave. They're very strong, like some of these guys. But you have to have these people removed or you don't have a country. So we had the best crime numbers that we've had, murder numbers, the best in 125 years. Think of it. Since the year 1900, before my father was born by a lot, we have the best crime numbers. And we're going to keep it that way. And that's despite the fact that so many criminals were allowed into our country. So we need ICE. We need Border Patrol. The last thing you people want to see is our country overrun again by criminals. And that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen. And by the way, our country doesn't want that.
Mr. President, some Republicans, including Senator Mike Lee, say reconciliation won't work to pass the Save America Act because it's not budget related. What's your response to that?
Well, they say, and the parliamentarians going to have to make a decision on that. But I say, end the filibuster, terminate the filibuster, just vote, and you'll get everything you want. You get all 5 things. We have voter ID, we have proof of citizenship. It's so important. Mail-in ballots have to be stopped, with exceptions for the military, for sick people, people that are sick, people disabled, for people that are traveling. If you're traveling, you can vote. But other than that, mail-in ballots are inherently dishonest. Jimmy Carter, in his Carter Commission, said you can't have mail-in ballots. We're the only country in the world that has mail-in ballots. We're the only country in the world that has, we have a big case becoming in the Supreme Court that had to do with the babies of slaves after the Civil War. And instead of that, it's being used as a way for rich countries and thousands of people from China coming in and getting citizenship for people within their family. This is not what they meant when they did that. So that's a big decision coming up. But if you look at it and you look at what we've done here, we have 5 points. We don't want men playing in women's sports. The Democrats do. We don't want transgender mutilization of our children. The Democrats are just fine with it. You could do every child in America, they'd be very happy. We don't want the mutilization of our children. It's transgender, and we're not going to have it. So we want to go into those things, 5 points, and with the filibuster termination, you could vote them all in. The Republicans would have the vote.
Mr. President, Leader Thune told me that they do not have the votes to terminate the filibuster. How will you get around
That's
that?
part of being a leader. You have to get the votes.
Do you have confidence in Leader Thune?
I like him so much. He's a high quality person. And he told me the same thing. We don't have the votes. Well, he's only a couple of votes short, but that's what being a leader is. You have to get the votes. You have to get the votes. And those people will not be able to withstand the onslaught because Republicans and the country wants it. It's polling at 87% voter ID. Think of it. We're talking about Save America, and it's not Save Act, it's Save America Act, because it's Saving America. Save Act, nobody knows what it's saving. It's the Save America Act. And you have to have it. You have to have it. The Save America Act, voter ID, all of these things, proof of citizenship. It's an 87% issue with all voters, including Democrats. The only ones that don't want it are Schumer and these corrupt Democrat leaders, because it will not give them the ability to cheat in an election. Look, why wouldn't you want voter ID? There's not a reason in the world you wouldn't want it except to cheat. And if they don't cheat, their policy is so bad, they'll never win another election.
Mr. President,
On Friday you mentioned that Cuba will be next. What did you mean by that exactly?
Who will be next?
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba's going to be next. Cuba's a mess. It's a failing country, and they're going to be next. Within a short period of time, it's going to fail. And we will be there to help it out. We'll be there to help our great Cuban Americans out who were thrown out of Cuba. In many cases, their family members were mutilated and killed by Castro. Well, Cuba's going to be next, yeah.
Are you considering withdrawing Casey Means for Surgeon General and nominating someone else?
Well, we're looking at a lot of different things, and I don't know how she's doing in the nomination process. I'm more focused on Iran, but something like that would be possible. We certainly have a lot of great candidates for that.
Do you still have confidence in Tulsi Gabbard, sir?
Yeah, sure. I mean, she's a little bit different in her thought process than me, but that doesn't make somebody not available to serve.
Is she on the same page
I
as
would
you?
say that I'm very strong in the fact that I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Because if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it immediately. I think she's probably a little bit softer on that issue, but that's okay. Some people are. Most people aren't. Most people are saying, thank you very much for doing what you did. They are decimated right now. They're going to give up nuclear weapons. They're going to give us the nuclear dust. They're going to do everything that we want to do. And you know what? They're going to go on and maybe have a great country again. But if they don't do that, they're not going to have a country. They're not even going to have a country. So she's softer on that issue, but I have other people, not too many. That's an issue that we've had great support. You saw the CNN poll where Trump with MAGA, and I think MAGA is most of the Republican Party, is 100% approval. In fact, the young gentleman that does the poll is very good, actually, because he's honest. He said, I've never seen 100% before. I'm 100% in the CNN poll, which just came out. Thank you very much, everyone.
One more thing on Cuba. There's a report that the U.S. is going to let a Russian oil tanker go to Cuba. Is that true?
Well, we have a tanker out there. We don't mind having somebody get a boatload because they have to survive.
So that report is true as far as you know?
Well, I would say, I told them, if a country wants to send some oil into Cuba right now, I have no problem with it.
Do you worry that helps?
Whether it's Russia or not. What?
Do you worry that helps Vladimir Putin though?
Doesn't help him. He loses one boatload of oil. That's all it is. It's fine. If he wants to do that, and if other countries want to do it, it doesn't bother me much. It's not going to have an impact. Cuba's finished. They have a bad regime. They have very bad and corrupt leadership. And whether or not they get a boat of oil, it's not going to matter. I'd prefer letting it in, whether it's Russia or anybody else, because the people need heat and cooling and all of the other things that you need. Go ahead.
No, the issue of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran control of it and charging tolls, what do you think about that? Or
We'll have to find out if it's true. You know, they're going to do whatever they have to do. We could close that up in 2 minutes. We could close that up so fast your head would spin.
Do you want to see Gulf countries that are being attacked by Iran to start to fight back?
They are fighting back. Saudi Arabia is fighting back hard. Qatar is fighting back. UAE is fighting back. Kuwait's fighting back. Bahrain is fighting back. They're all fighting back. Actually, they were surprised to be hit. I was very surprised they got hit. And once they got hit, they started fighting very well. We're very strong communications with all of those countries, and they've all been fighting. They're 100% on our side.
How long can you pay TSA workers for? How long can you pay TSA workers for from the One Big Beautiful Bill?
Well, we're going to pay them for as long as we have to. And I will tell you, the ICE workers have been amazing. And they're helping people with their bags. It's very interesting. We put ICE there, and ICE got a very unfair press. They're doing an amazing job getting hardened criminals, murders. 11,888 murders were allowed to come into our country through Biden. And ICE has been amazing. Now, we said, give us a little hand during this period of time, because this is caused by Democrat terrorists. These people are sick. They don't care about our country. They don't care about people. But what it's all about really is they want to have open borders, and they want to have criminals come into our country so they can get more votes, because they're losing votes fast. Look at how I did with the Hispanic population. And now I'm doing even better with the Hispanic population. And that's bad for them. They always had it. Now they don't have it anymore. These are people that want our country to fail, and the voters see that. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That's that. You heard it from the man. I give it two, maybe 3 more weeks on this Strait of Hormuz. You know, there's a lot of AI videos coming from Iran, and people are still over here saying that Iran won the war. I'm not sure how their mental, how their minds process information. If we were getting our military destroyed, if we didn't have a navy, if we didn't have an air force, I wouldn't be saying that we're gonna beat anybody. But yeah, I give it 2 to 3 weeks. This is what I got from Marco Rubio, and honestly, for everything that we have seen on the attacks, I will tend to agree. Do I like the gas prices right now? Hell no. I can't afford gas myself. So I know the feeling. You know what? But I still trust the president. I still think that we're doing the right thing. And it is for the better of our country. Now, if you guys coming in here and you see my Gulf of America hat, don't be a hater. If you Google Gulf of Mexico, go find out what it says now. And the other thing is that, you know, for you to be a conquer person, like Mexicans, for you to be conquered and to say that it's the Gulf of Mexico, that is the name that your colonists gave you. So fantastic. Gulf of America makes sense because Mexico and the United States, they're all part of America, and most of the Gulf as today covers most of the United States of America's country, right? The United States of America. And so I think Gulf of America is a better name for it. So don't hate. Don't get all caught up on the name. Guys, just let it go. Hey, brother. Yep, Gulf of Mexico. Long live Mexico. Call it Gulf of Mexico. Call it the Gulf of Hormuz. Whatever you want. I will call it the Gulf of America. It sounded silly at first. I understand. but I have learned to love the name Gulf of America. It makes more sense because it's a North America. Yeah, Gulf of Africa. Yeah, no, that's too far. Let's not call it that. Not the Hormuz either, but you know what? Yeah, just call it whatever you want. It's fantastic. Thank you guys for being here with me today. I hope you guys like my Batman hat. It was all just for shits and giggles for you guys to see it. And I am very glad. Hey, thank you so much for being here with me today. I know, low turnout, Sunday afternoon. On a Sunday afternoon. Whoa, what sucks? Somebody said my hat sucks? Gulf of globs of oil. Sure. Bro, there's so many comments that were blocked. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you guys are saying. But either way, guys, my members, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Oh my goodness. I will see you tomorrow. I got some clips. Oh my goodness. I got some stuff ready for the libtards when they start coming making fun of my accent. I got some stuff for them to listen to. I got some things with the libtards that tell me that Republicans are horrible. I got so many things that put together how we are still Democrats because we still believe in the same things that made this country great. And all those who call themselves Democrats today, they contradict themselves 100%. 100%. They contradict themselves. So, Brian, Jason, Beatrice, Jason, Martin, Sandra, thank you for the call. Cool Cat Renee, if he's still around in there. Bernie L for stopping by. Thank you guys so much. Especially for your prayers. Robert, see you later. My man, always represent. I hope you guys like that big eagle there with the spread. It's I wanted it to look better, but I think it looks better on my computer. On the cell phone, it looks very tiny. It's very underwhelming. But I hope you guys like it. I did it with all my love for you guys. I believe I need, I think it's like 8 or 11 more members, and that I can get more access to more emojis. There's a lot of things that I want to have out there. One of them is that little cross, a cross on fire. And when we get those members, you guys can gift memberships. You can do whatever to get those members in there. But I do want to start putting some Christian symbols on there for you guys to have next to your name. For now, I hope you guys like you have, let me see, who did I put in there? We got Dwayne The Rock Mullen. We got J.D. Vance. We got Rubio. Nobody is on President Trump's level yet. I believe that it's for 6 months or longer being members. So some of you guys are about to hit that mark. Superstars are anybody that's paying $24.99, which I believe the price from YouTube goes up to like $29. Let's go, Brandon. And so that's how it goes. I think it's like $3.99, $2.99, and $6.99. I don't know how it goes, but you know, YouTube is going to put a little markup on that. But I thank you guys for subscribing and for becoming members. Thank you for hitting likes on the video. Got 141. I can't ask for any more than that. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Peace.